Back again on Gran Turismo 7, this time with the Chevy Camaro ZL1 1LE package at the high-speed ring. So reason I chose another set of muscle cars and this track specifically is every time I think of muscle cars, I think of NASCAR. This, instead of having 4 corners, it has a whopping 6, so not too far from it. So right here, a gigantic turn, going really easy on the throttle. Instead of actually braking, I actually had to let go of the gas and just let it coast for a little bit. So again, right here, we're holding the wheel super tight, making sure we get as close as possible inside and then outside. Obviously, I could have done a lot better on that turn right there to save myself some time. But overall, the Camaro does have pretty good control. Right here, we're going into a very tricky section of the track. It was tricky to be able to stay on the inside. I did a lot better on this turn while I was able to really work the throttle, go easy, be patient, and then we're going to go through the tunnel to actually the hardest part of the track. So this part right here, the braking point, especially, well, on a muscle car, if you're braking and turning, you spin out. So right here, it was hard to gauge a point, and obviously I hit the wall a little bit right there, but I was able to do a really good job of keeping it inside, minimizing track distance, and then having a good exit. And then here, just going flat out. The Camaro has been great. It's been one of the easier muscle cars to drive. It has great acceleration, really good cornering. I was able to brake much easier. Overall, this car was definitely one of the best muscle cars that I've driven in the game. Again for part 2 on Gran Turismo 7, here with another muscle car, the awesome Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat 15 at the high-speed ring. So again, reason I chose this track is, again, when I think of muscle cars, I think of NASCAR, I think of those oval tracks, and this was the closest thing that I could find, but it still kept it interesting. The high-speed ring has about a whopping 6 corners, so not too far from a classic NASCAR track. So right here, we went into the giant curve. We were easy on the throttle, patient on there, and the braking right here. Man, this car was difficult to drive. It is great in acceleration. It's super stable when it comes to going in a straight line, but there's nothing challenging about that. The challenging part is when you're able to corner, make your turns, be able to stay consistent. And right here, I'm just milking it on the revs. I should have shifted a lot better. I should have been smoother, but I was able to keep it tight, which is what I wanted. I was able to save time and eliminate track distance. So this one right here, we're going into the trickiest section, and this took me forever to get right. It was honestly frustrating with this one, just because braking on this car, if you're braking and turning, you spun out. So right here, I was going a little bit way too slow, but honestly, I think I could have done a lot better. I was overall kind of disappointed in myself in driving this car, not being as patient with it. I did do maybe about 10 laps of practice, but overall, I did find the car difficult to drive. It could have been just me. Maybe I wasn't patient enough, and the Camaro definitely set the bar a little bit high with this one. It was overall about 3 seconds slower, and despite it being an awesome car, it was overall just a little bit slow and pretty difficult. As you can see, I straight up wiped out, so not a surprise.